Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 8th episode of Ascent Talks. My name is Ajit Panikar, and I'm an Ascent member for 10 years, and I lead Nova, an air conditioning company, and Pure Blue, a tech-enabled startup in the air conditioning domain. And as usual, my co-host for the show is Aleem. Hi, Aleem. How are you doing?
Good morning, Ajit. Good morning, everyone. Good to see you all.
Awesome. So, for anyone who's joining us for the first time today, Ascent is a not-for-profit expression of Harsh Mariwala, Chairman, Marico Limited, and his passion to identify high potential growth stage entrepreneurs and enable them to grow their enterprise and enrich their entrepreneurial journey. Launched in 2012, Ascent today empowers more than 850 entrepreneurs across India. Ascent is designed as a unique, powerful peer to peer platform that leverages the power of the collective through self facilitated groups called trust groups, which enables entrepreneurs to share and exchange experiences, ideas, insights, and create a healthy ecosystem to learn from each other. Today's event, which is a weekly event, Ascent Talks, showcases Ascent members and their interesting entrepreneurial journeys. So, Alim, let's introduce our guest today.
Okay, so bring it on. And Jatin Thakkar. Jatin Thakkar is here. Yes, with the fog effect. Jatin, we need a fog effect here. Okay, so I'm very excited to introduce Jatin. Jatin Thakkar graduated from the University of Minnesota with a degree in chemical engineering. For the first 10 years, he worked for a US based pharma company and handled their India operations, time release technology. For the next 22 years in Gelnova, in which he founded along with his father, Jatin holds 5 patents, 3 global, 2 Indian. His focus in pharma is on drug delivery systems, basically how to deliver a drug effectively. I'm very happy to have Jatin here because he's a friend of Ajit and he's a friend of mine. And we can promise you a very, very exciting show today. We're just hoping we don't use unparliamentary language today, is what we were discussing. Yeah. So, Jatin, welcome and tell us about your business, the nature, some clients, and solutions to understand what you've been doing all this while.
So first thing is a disclaimer. The photograph I sent you is very different from what you see. And that is because I'm doing a trial on a new drug. So that's my first disclaimer.
That causes graying.
Hopefully we'll reverse graying. Yeah. So now you asked me about what I do. So in a one-liner, the easy way to say is I sell drugs and I have many clients. Right?
Too good.
You want to know more about it? Then
No.
So that's the easy way, right? I tell people that I sell drugs, and immediately the ears pop and the eyes pop, and I have loads of clients. So I did my chemical engineering, as you rightly said, from US. I worked with an American company, and we were specializing in time release technology, and we got that into India first in 1980s, where you, instead of taking the product 3 times a day, you take the product once and it releases the drug throughout the day in your body. Highly advanced, a lot of technology behind it. We were the first ones, and we had our ups and downs, mostly downs. It took a long time before we could explain to people that this is much better than the conventional dosage forms. Fast forward to 1995, India signed the WTO, which means we had to recognize intellectual property. And that's when I told the management, half of them were Americans, that we need to diversify. And they had a different line of thought. They said, no, we are into hardcore drugs and we don't want to diversify. So I, in 2000, exited and started Gelnova. The whole purpose behind it was, on a lighter note, to make expensive urine, because that's what I make, multivitamins. I say multivitamins is just half of it is going in your urine. But on a serious note, we took it to another level. So what we started focusing on was how to deliver a drug more effectively. And you might think what's the big deal, right? You have tablets, capsules, syrups, blah, blah, blah. But there is lots that we can do with drugs. So what I do is I develop products and offer it to big pharma companies who brand it and sell it. That's basically what we do. Yeah.
Awesome.
And
You know,
of course, let me clarify that the format that we have is we make soft gelatin capsules, we make soft lozenges. Now, these two formats, in soft lozenges, we are the only ones in the country. In soft capsules, we are one of the 20. But if you want to know the scale, there are more than 20,000 pharmaceutical companies, but only 20 making soft capsules. Soft capsules are the liquid fill capsules, cod liver oil, vitamin E oil. That's soft gel capsules.
awesome.
Yeah.
You know, Jatin, I think the coolest thing is, you know, what do? I sell drugs. That is such a cool statement to make.
How many
But
Now
drugs
I
do
look,
you
and
need?
now I look like a
Take
drug
my
peddler.
number.
Now I look like a drug peddler.
yeah. But Jatin, tell me something. In this whole industry, I know India is going global. They say there's going to become a hub for pharmaceuticals. That's the big talk, and we made great entries into Africa and now going across the globe post COVID. Also, we got a lot of recognition with the vaccinations. What do you think are the opportunities that this industry holds? Yeah.
So see, traditionally, pharmaceuticals has always been a recession-proof. So again, if anybody asks me about my business, I say it's a very boring business, right? If it's a good year, we have a 10%, 15% growth, and it's a bad year, we have a 5% growth. So what does it tell you? That we always grow. As long as there are people, you'll require the pharma companies, and we'll keep growing. But the problem is, I feel that we don't innovate in our business. We make tablets, capsules, syrups, ointments, blah blah blah, and that's all. What we are doing, the Indian pharma industry is a big generic industry. We are making the generic drugs. We are putting a brand behind it, and we're selling. I personally think there is no innovation in our business. We are just making Me Too, a company in America like Pfizer, XYZ launches a product, and we just make copycats of that. We brand it, and we become pharma companies. So I think there is a huge, huge opportunity to grow in this business if you think differently. And we as Alim mentioned have I have 5 patents, and we are constantly filing patents. I'll elaborate on that a little later, but I think there is a again, very few people know that pharmaceutical industry is highly regulated. We have price control and profit control. We have always had that. Now we have to try and grow within price control and profit control. So it is a very tricky situation, and that is the reason why I feel that there is no innovation happening, because everything is price sensitive in India. People do R&D just to save on taxes, not for real R&D. So if you innovate, I think the scope in pharma is endless, because you can do lots and lots.
And Jatin,
Yeah.
since you've taken over the business, what are the innovations you brought about? What are the big changes that you brought about in the industry for with your company Gelnova?
So honestly, if you look at our innovations, we've had many. Back in 2002, I was the first company to launch a vaginal pessary without an applicator, because I used to always joke that it's the guys who develop products for women, and that's not how it's supposed to be. So we developed the first product which didn't need an applicator, and everybody laughed at me. Today, that's the de facto standard. We developed veg soft capsules. Nobody has developed in soft gelatin. We have a patent on a BITS technology, which is you can bite the capsule, you can twist the capsule and squeeze the contents, or you can just swallow the contents. We're working on lozenges, many products in lozenges. We have working on uh, so if you look at my portfolio, I'm working on weight loss, we're working on sleep, we're working on skin glow from within, graying of hair, balding. We have shampoos, we have detergent pods, we have mosquito repellents. If you look at my basket, is very varied. I think our portfolio is unique to only us. The commodity part of making the expensive urine, the multivitamins, that everybody makes. right? And that's when so that's one part that, as you mentioned, I'm into drug delivery systems. So in each and every product that we choose, the first objective is there should be no competition or close to zero competition. Put a barrier, innovate, file an intellectual property, so nobody can just walk in and take away the share of the market. Intellectual property requires an effort and lots of money. But if you're just doing it within India, it's dirt cheap. The rewards are huge, and filing a patent is not at all expensive. It's just that people think it's expensive. Yes, globally, it's very expensive, right? Then I realized at one point that everybody is taking my ideas and making pots of money. So why not I go into the forward integration and start my own marketing? So good idea, not enough money to do it. But anyways, I jumped into it. And the first product I launched was a nicotine replacement therapy. We were the first in India, and it completely failed because we were the first ones. And I realized later that nobody understands the market. And smokers will smoke, and when they want to quit, they will quit. I don't want to waste my money trying to change the world. The second product we launched, Protect, brilliant product to take care of hangover, and it failed because it worked too well. Everybody who had my product went home and they didn't have the high anymore after drinking. So I mean, I made a product that works well, and it didn't work because it worked too well. Okay. I mean, the point is, I feel as an entrepreneur, the more you fall, the more you learn. So, we have faced many challenges. One of the biggest challenge we faced was we had a fire, and you have a fire, half your factory is burned, and nobody has taught you in school, nobody has taught you in college that what do you do when you have fire. This is where an Ascent member's experience helped me. He had a fire. We had 4 sessions on fire and how to mitigate the risk. And lo behold, few months later, I had a fire where I was completely ready mentally and physically. And uh, it took a couple of years, but we got out of it simply because I was, prepared for it. Ascent really helped here a lot. Well, that's part of Ascent that helped me, but it's also partly your attitude, right? I mean, you have a fire, half your factory burns. You can give up or you can fight it out. And
But
I said,
Anil, I just want to remind, when this happened, Jatin and me were together in Pune. You'll be surprised. Remember, Jatin? Both of us were
yeah,
together in
yeah,
Pune. We were at another Ascent member's birthday party, and we had decided to spend our evening together. And we were partying. And next day morning, we are driving home, and this is what we get to hear. I guess we were all like stunned. And a fire that you'll be surprised did not even start in his factory, started in a neighboring factory. Oh man, it was like crazy. So I think Jatin, that big challenge was a huge thing, and you should take some time out to actually share, you know, how it could have been devastating, and how you kind of went through the process. You should share that.
yeah. So quickly, I'll run through it. I mean, the first thing my neighbor told me, he said, Mr. Thakkar, sit down and watch the fire burn because till everything is burnt, it's not going to stop. And I said, "Boy, you're joking, right?" I had 20 fire brigades trying to douse the fire, and what he said exactly came true. That when everything was reduced to ashes, is when the fire stopped. And the first thing we did the next day, when my entire staff was kind of crying and they didn't know what's going to happen, I said, "In 7 days, we got to start again." We removed 80,000 kilos of steel from the debris itself, all in 7 days, and eighth day we were ready to start again. Okay, I think it's sheer willpower, and it's easy to give up. I mean, in an entrepreneurial journey, it's easy to give up. It's difficult to fight. I think if you make up your mind, there's nothing to it. You can do it. And of course, another thing I want to share: when I was paying for the fire premiums, I told the broker that give me the name of the company that is charging the highest premium. And he said, "Are you crazy? I mean, everybody's asking me for the lowest quote and you're asking me for the highest. I said, yes, when the time comes, the guy who's taking the highest premium is the one who's going to pay. And it was Tata AIG. I was paying 30% more than others. But when the time came and the fire happened, they gave me a check of 4 crores in 24 hours. Okay. So to me, choosing the right insurance company saved me. Of course, the willpower, and, probably the age at that time, I was ready to fight back. I was 47 at that time. So I said, okay, I have a lot to look forward to. I can't give up. And yes, that hampered my growth for a few years because I had to rebuild from scratch a lot of things. But I had Ascent team members. They were very supportive, and the journey was not so difficult simply because of the emotional support that you get from your trust group. It's amazing what Ascent can do to you and your mental well-being. Yeah, these are the challenges and many more. I mean, we can have a 1 hour session on challenges because there's more challenges than good things happen, right?
Okay,
But
let's forget about that. This is like a super story where you come out. Tell us about those patents which you are going to encash very soon. Tell us more about those patents, man, because as
so
you
we
did
are
touch upon it, but some of the patents that you spoke about, and your most famous product, which all of us use, yeah, term gel.
yeah,
We literally everyone takes it. So you must talk about these things, yeah.
yeah. I have very strange patterns. I have patterns. So I am working a lot on herbal preparations, but we do a lot of work. We isolate compounds, we find actives, we find how it is used, how we can deliver the product. We are I think, the first company in India that has filed for an IND in the US. So everybody files an ANDA, and ANDA is another new drug application. So I have a Crocin, which is paracetamol. I'll file it in America. It's called ANDA. So nobody in India has filed for an IND, which is an investigational new drug. So we have filed for an IND 7 years ago. Why I'm saying 7 years ago? It's a 10-year process of getting approval, right? But the only reason why I could do it is because of my intellectual property. I have intellectual property, which means nobody will walk into that arena till 2031. We have 9 more years to go with the IP protection. We have already in the first phase shown that we can reverse oral cancer completely. The patients are 100% in remission in only 1 month. Only 1 month. Okay, that's a huge achievement. We have got many trials published in India for people who chew tobacco. They get submucosal fibrosis. The way to know it is they can't open their mouth more than 2 fingers. A normal mouth opening is 4 fingers. So with our product, in 6 weeks, your mouth is back to 4. You're normal. I want abnormal people. That's good for business, not you.
I'm a very good boy.
In my language, you're boring. You live your life once. You got to do everything and then leave it to the pharma companies to fix you. We'll fix you and we'll make money. The life cycle goes on. Come on. I mean, what will doctors
I
do
have
when they
another
have good
disease. It's
boys
called
like
foot and
you?
mouth disease. I have another
What?
disease called foot and mouth disease. उसका कोई cure नहीं है. Foot and mouth.
Foot and mouth disease, right? So it's like you'll put doctors out of business. Yeah, actually, it's strange because I discovered something recently because I just went through an angioplasty a month ago, and I found an Ayurvedic medicine which actually clears all the blockages. It takes about a month. But my problem is if I come out with this product, there's going to be a hit on my head. Somebody will say bump him off because all doctors, cardiologists will be out of business, right? But it'll take me 10 years to prove that and then come out by the time many people will die. But that's life. That's pharma, and that's the way we got to live it. But yeah, we are doing I think to sum it up, Ajit, I have always stressed this is what I learned in America. Whether you're in marketing, whether you're in finance, whether you're in an engineering field, research is very critical. We in India have this mentality that we know everything. So we just, it's built into our DNA. Like it is built into a Chinese person's eyes that there's a photocopying machine. So they look at anything and they copy it, and they're good at it. But Indians are innovators. We have a lot of innovation within us. Uh, there is a law to protect it. There is intellectual property, which if you can file and protect yourself, you will benefit a lot by it. And I have already benefited a lot. The grand payday is a little far away, but when it happens and when an intellectual property pays big dividends, it is unfathomable. It's such a huge amount that 3 generations don't have to work. That's the amount of, on the monetary side, the money that you can make. It's just that we don't have the mindset as Indians to focus and do something the right way. And it looks like an effort, but intellectual property is, I think, the basis. Everybody should do it. In 90% of patents filed are only pharma companies. Why rest of them are not doing it? I have patents on toothbrush, toothpaste, on caps, on nuts, bolts, so many things. These 5 patents are granted patents. I have another 10 that I have filed, which are not yet granted, but they are on many things which are not related to my field. That's what I think we as Indians entrepreneurs should think. How do we protect our business through IP? Whatever we're doing, the efforts go waste when somebody just copies your idea. So I think it can be done in any field. We just have to think on those lines. I mean, you're in air conditioning. I can tell you, you can do many things in air conditioning which can be patentable, and then imagine nobody else can copy what you're doing. So I am a big advocate of IP.
Ajit, time to patent the show also. Ascent Talks with Ajit has been patent the show.
Absolutely. Already done. We filed it, man.
but I gave the idea, so royalty goes to me. That's in my DNA, right? I IP, so I have to get royalty.
गांव बसा नहीं कि लुटेरे आ गए. Anyway, so Ajit, Jatin, you did speak about your Ascent, trust group and how they help you. But I'd like to know a little more. How did your Ascent journey start? How's it going, and where do you see it value adding?
So the first part of the journey was very tough. I was the facilitator, and I didn't know what the shit I was doing in this place. Right? I didn't know what Ascent was. I didn't know what am I supposed to do. I'm supposed to handle 10 CEOs. I mean, come on. They're all my colleagues and I'm supposed to handle them. Anyway, we figured that out. We're still together after 10 years. So maybe I did something right. But yes, Ascent, I think is a wonderful, wonderful platform, which the way it has helped me is it has helped me validate my thoughts, help me validate my fears. I hear others what's happening. I know it's like a Panditji in a room. I know what's going to happen 1 year later because I get to know early signs of where the economy is moving. I bounce off new ideas. It helps me solve my problem. So any problem, I know 1 month later I'm going to go to my group and put it up, and we'll find a solution. So I don't have to wait too long. And everybody knows that being a CEO is very lonely at the top. So you're all alone. So the best way to get it out is talk to other Ascent members, and it's a trust group, right? So I say more to my group than probably even my spouse. They know more about my business than anybody does, and I have no qualms in sharing anything and everything, whatever views I may have, whatever. Of course, it's a sharing platform, so it's not for giving opinions. So we don't give opinions, but I share everything that I want. So I think it has really helped me a lot, and I would recommend that more and more people should join Ascent. It's a platform that will take you to other heights. They just don't know it yet, but once they get onto it, they're going to see your business, personal growth go up exponentially. I've been there for 10 years, and I think I've gained enough knowledge for 20 years. It's been a great journey for me.
Amazing. And I'm very fortunate that Jatin and me are in the same trust group. 10 years we've been together, so can validate
Ask me,
everything.
ask me the same question. I can't say I'm fortunate.
No, but Jatin, as you rightly said, the first facilitator that you had set the grounds very well. So a lot of that credit goes to you and Chetan actually for actually putting that together. So it's amazing. Okay. We just have about 5 minutes or 4 minutes to just wind up the show. So now, out of the drug business, out of the opportunities, out of the challenges, tell us about yourself here. Apart from selling drugs, what are your personal hobbies? Tell us about your family. Let's see the personal side of you.
So personal side is quite boring because my hobby is research, right? So I have a constant kida inside me that what do I do next, right? And many of the things that I'm thinking of are not even related to pharma, but I'm constantly thinking. If there's anything that I see, I try to figure out why this happened, why that happened, and say, can I patent it? That's the first thought, So in my free time, I actually enjoy doing that rather than watching a Netflix or this or that. I love programming. My first 10 years of running the show, the entire ERP package was made by me because I wanted to know what's happening in my company. So I said, I'll control the strings. If I have programmed it, I know exactly what's happening. Today we run on SAP and blah, blah, blah. But so I love programming. So what I do in my spare time is I am looking at a futuristic programming. That's my ideal future that I'm looking at. And I say that 10 years from now, can I prevent health related issues from happening? A simple language, what you're seeing today is fitness trackers, but they are only telling you metrics. They're not telling you what's going to happen to you, what's going to happen to these metrics extrapolated 10 years from now. So programming, R&D, that's my high. Sorry, boring. But yeah, that's
No,
what
it's
I love.
exciting. I don't think many people
Family,
have it that way.
you asked me about family. My son has done his industrial engineering. And he wanted to join the business, and I said, no, thank you. You got to earn your way up. I can look after myself. He got a very good job in a New York-based company. He's meeting CEOs of all companies. So eventually, if he joins me, he'll be a ready-made kid. I didn't want to spend time in preparing him. I said, okay, you learn from somewhere else, and I'll observe you later. Right.
Awesome.
But the point was, I didn't want him to get onto a warmed-up seat. And my daughter works for a digital marketing company. My wife works for an NGO for intellectually disabled kids, Jai Vakil Foundation. So she does voluntary work there since many years, 10 years. Yeah, that's the personal side.
Amazing, man. Jatin, as
13,
usual, even though I've...
Jatin, you deserve a pat on the back.
Yeah.
Patent and pat on back is different.
Patent the back.
You can call it tapli, then that's not a pat on the back.
But Jatin, awesome, man. It's fabulous. I've known you so well, but even today, even listening to you for the past 30 minutes is fabulous. It's fantastic, and you're, as usual, always inspiring. Absolutely. And super to have you on the show today. Thank you so much, Jatin. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Me. Thank you very much. Bye, Alim. Bye, Alim.
See you. Bye. Take
Thanks
care.
a lot.
Yeah, bye.
So, guys, we are back. We are down to the last 30 minutes. So, to wind up, there are 2 action points that we would like you to do. If you're an entrepreneur, want to get inspired over the weekend, then connect with us on the LinkedIn Ascent Foundation.in page. And every Friday at 11 o'clock, we'll come with an entrepreneurial story. But if you believe you're growth ready and you want to make a difference to this country, and you want an opportunity to be part of, to learn from other entrepreneurs, then get to ascentfoundation.in and apply for membership. Now, here's a disclaimer. This option is not like, you go, I'll pay a fee and get a membership. Now, Ascent will get in touch with you. They're going to evaluate you. And if you are truly growth ready, we'll be happy to have you as an Ascent member. So that's it for today. And we're going to see you next Friday with a new Ascent member story.
And
What do you
don't forget
say,
to
Anil?
share, like, comment, because we're getting some great TRPs because we saw the results of our show and they're doing very, very well. So we're thrilled over the moon. So see you soon next week.
See you next week, guys. Bye-bye. See you.
Bye.